Hello. Today I'm going to draw this jumping spider. The photo is by James Reben. So to start off, I'm going to draw an ellipse to summarize the head, or the cephalothorax, which is the head and thorax combined. And I will be adding more onto that. The next thing I wanted to draw is the abdomen, which is this part here. And you're going to notice how I don't attach it initially. I think it should be a little bit more wide and stumpy. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I want to attach the legs next. Okay, so now I want to jump to the structure layer, and I kind of want to add this intermediate area that connects it pretty much connects it connects the cephalothorax to the abdomen. They always have this intermediate connecting part. And I also wanted to make the end pointy, just to show, well, that's a bit too pointy. It's like where the spinnerets would be. Okay, so now I want to draw the gestural lines for the legs, and it's really interesting. It's kind of like the legs are not too complex. They're a little complex, but not too bad, considering a lot of spiders that I have seen. And I think the back legs here are a bit tucked. And I'm kind of wondering, like, I may have made this area a bit too wide. Well, no, I didn't. I'll be adding more structure onto it, so you will see what I'll do. Oh, it's actually more kind of like that. And now for the legs over here. Kind of like that. Okay, so now I want to add what I like to call the initial bean shape for a lot of these legs, and I like to do this first so I could then add the additional shell-like thing where the eyes are. I always like to handle this first to kind of get it out of the way a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to jump to our structure layer again. And I wanted to add, it's pretty much this top shell-like thing. It's not a shell, I mean, it's just its head. Well, you know what? Kind of extends a little bit further, kind of like that. Goes around, what, you know what, it extends. Then it kind of covers about half of that area back there. And it does a good job at covering up a lot of the initial beams, like the initial underattachments of the leg. When I am looking at this spider, it does seem like it covers most of them. So I wanted to like show that, and I kind of messed it up here. So let me try it one more time. It's better, but not good enough. Okay, so now I want to also do these two things. I just wanted to show like the connections. Actually, they're a bit further, kind of like there and there, like here and here. Okay. Now I also wanted to get in the eyes. This jumping spider has some pretty large eyes, very interesting array of them. And I wanted to quickly draw the bean for I'm not sure if it was Chelseray or Polypulps, something like that, but I wanted to draw these things first to kind of get them out of the way before I draw the eyes. So I drew an eye here, and I'll try to shade it in, since I think at this point I can safely do that. Now, now that I look at it, I keep thinking I may have made a bit of a mistake. Maybe I should have made the eyes a little bit larger, or perhaps I think I know what I did wrong. Okay, so I think when I did these things, actually I should have been a little bit closer, and I kind of made them a bit too. I made this one way too far over here. So about there. But based on this perspective, it kind of looks like that one's further along compared to that one. Like this one kind of looks like it's like really far over here. It's really hard for me to estimate it. Perhaps. Oh, okay. So I think it's kind of like on the other side of the eye, and based on the perspective, it's kind of causing it to be a bit obscured. So that eye should have actually been not here. It should have been more like there and here. I think kind of like this and that. Okay. Now I want to, now I'll color in the eyes, or shade them in like I wanted to before. So it has other eyes. I'm drawing them as balls, even though it kind of does look like they're more kind of like showing that. Like, a lot of these eyes are kind of like inset into the head, and I wanted to draw the form rather than the partial shape. But I just as well could draw part of the shape, as long as you know that like it is cutting into the head. Like, all of these eyes are like probably ellipsoids. They're not perfect spheres. I'm guessing even the human eyeball is some type of ellipsoid, kind of like the Earth. But then I make a really general assumption with that, which could be a dangerous thing. But who knows? Maybe I'm right on that case. So this eye right here kind of coincides about here. Oops, actually it's a little bit more like here. And I believe, I don't know if all spiders have 8 eyes. But I feel like I've only drawn 6. So where are those other 2? I don't know if that's one and that's one. It's hard for me to tell. I bet those are them, and they're just like smaller. I don't exactly understand how spiders utilize all of their eyes. The other thing I realized is this eye kind of sits on like an angle. Like, the more I look at it, it kind of seems like there's this geometric type of shape, and I think I did a poor job at showing this eye right here, because I think it kind of exists a bit more as like a dome based on the perspective. So I think I could kind of wing it a little bit. Not really. Sort of. It's more like it's still a sphere, but I think that may be an eye. It's kind of hard for me to tell. But the important thing to know, I believe, is that these eye things are sitting not on the same level as the legs. They're like a little bit above them, I believe. The other thing is, I keep looking at this, and I keep thinking like I should summarize it with some type of partial ellipse to kind of show the 3D nature to it. I don't know how beneficial it is for me to show that. Okay, so now I want to do the legs. The legs are very, very large. So like, in this instance, I think I should have made this leg kind of up a little bit higher than I did. I think after I added that initial head-like form, it kind of messed me up a little bit. So the first thing I'm seeing another bean attachment to that initial thing. Then I'm seeing like another bean here. And I'm going to try to draw the ellipses for you to kind of show you how it goes. I'm going to draw another. And there's a certain degree of tapering that I'm seeing as I go. To all of these bean-like shapes. So because I had to move that leg up a little bit higher, I pretty much have to do that to this leg as well. A lot higher. It's really frustrating. I feel like I never plan it right, so I probably just lack experience of getting it correct. And I'll fix that with time. And now for this one. Okay, now for the leg here. And there's like an interesting shift between, like right here, there's a shift between it going up and going down. And it looks a bit flat because of that. And sometimes you get those perspective tricks that occur. And I think a portion of the leg is a bit obscured. Like there may be another initial part under here. Okay, so this one, a lot of it is initially just hidden, even though I'm trying to draw some shape to summarize it. But I want to draw that shape. It's a bit like a tube of some sort. I'm seeing a shape here. Seeing another shape over here. This side's a bit more straight. Then I'm seeing the ending shape. Okay, now for the front left leg. It's doing a lot of changes. Now for this leg. Now that I look at it, I think I should have made it a bit longer, like maybe just a tad bit longer. I feel like I'm seeing more shapes. I feel like I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I'm seeing about 6. Maybe I didn't draw enough shapes in between here and I kind of summarized them. Like even here I'm seeing another ellipse or a segment. Okay. Now I think here I should have made this leg kind of go out a little bit more to about here. Okay, now for this segment, now for the last segment. Okay. I think I should have made that initial bean shape go a little bit further. Kind of messed up with that point. Now I want to do this shape. I think I see a shape here. I'm actually seeing this end leg kind of like does that. And I kind of just summarized it like that, which is probably not good for me to do, and I'll try to correct that here a bit. It's a bit subtle. But it's interesting because I feel like I should be seeing this with all of the other spiders that I've drawn, but perhaps I'm not focusing enough on the leg segments. So the bean here also kind of goes a bit further. Okay, so the initial shape is kind of like dipping a little bit, then going up. I probably should have done that more. Kind of like that. I want to show how it wraps around that appendage. This leg kind of like goes up a little, just like it goes up and then kind of dips down. Kind of does that. Kind of does that. Then for the last part, well actually wait, I'm seeing like another one. Kind of have to use my wrist for it because it's so subtle. Then for the last segment, kind of like that. Yeah, that's how I would break down the jumping spider. I'm really wondering about where those other two eyes are and whether it fits right there and there. Yeah, the spinnerets, maybe those are both them, and based on the perspective, we're really only seeing it there. Like, I think it's just very, very, very subtle, very difficult to see. Yeah, thinking how spiders have the spinnerets, it's always kind of difficult to see them unless you're really looking for them. They could just seem like a part of the abdomen if you make the assumption that a lot of, if you've looked at a lot of abdomens of other insects, I mean, I know we're dealing with a spider here, but, you know, it's always a trick, because usually on the end of the abdomen, you'll either see like a stinger, like a wasp has a stinger there, or I guess in the case of the spider, which is an arachnid, you have spinnerets. Usually two, I believe. I could be wrong. I mean, not every bug or insect has like something at the end of there. I don't know. I could be wrong. That may be like where the anus is or something like that. But I'd have to do more research, which sounds kind of bizarre. So if you like this video, please like it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you have a question, please ask in the comments. Bye.